Hi, I'm Casey Filer. I'm presenting first. My topic was on benevolent media, the faulty representation of the overweight. I chose this topic because I started noticing patterns as I watched a lot of Netflix over the summer, and the patterns just were this. So I defined benevolent media as the inclusion of overweight people in a charitable sense. It gives the illusion of acceptance while doing more harm than good. I took this term from benevolent sexism and sort of modified it to cover this topic. Now, the first movie that stood out to me when I was thinking of this prompt was this new Netflix movie. It was released in 2018 called Sierra Burgess is a Loser. It was about this seemingly ugly duckling girl who was not good enough to get the attractive guy by being herself and had to pretend to be a cheerleader online. And it sort of sent the message to the young viewers that you weren't good enough and you had to pretend to be something else. And it got a lot of criticism from news sources and social media. So this is an issue because it includes stereotypes and creates false perceptions of overweight people to its viewers. So it can lead to a harmful environment for overweight people. So stereotypes. There's the fat, funny friend, there's dumb, there's a nerd, self-hating, and in my opinion, most harmful, undesirable. So all of these are characters from TV shows or movies spanning from children's TV shows to classic films and more like widespread popular films. So the fat, funny friend, usually the inclusion of an overweight character is sort of like the chubby, funny guy. He's a supporting character. He really has no meaning other than to be comic relief. There's dumb. Usually overweight people are characterized as aloof in most situations in movies. And the undesirable one, I think, was the most harmful because it just sends a message that if you're overweight, you can't be attractive, and it's almost disgusting to appreciate somebody who is overweight. So in the movie Pitch Perfect, you've got somebody literally named Fat Amy. And all the jokes, her entire storyline is centered around this girl's weight, and they don't really give any more depth to this character. It's just all surface level about her weight. And where the charitable sense comes in is, in some of these movies, it's almost like a gift to these overweight characters that they actually found love and acceptance in their peers. So, Mall Cop, Kevin James, Paul Blart Mall Cop. This guy he fit almost all of these stereotypes. He was the fat, funny guy. He was dumb. He was nerdy. He didn't notice an entire, robbery going on because he was playing Guitar Hero. Self-hating and undesirable. So in the end, it was sort of a gift to him that he actually got this pretty girl. So most people understand that this is a problem in our society, but there isn't that much change in the behaviors that we see in popular media. So if you can see, the most popular so far has been Netflix's TV show Insatiable, about a girl who was overweight and constantly made fun of, never accepted by her peers, but then she got skinny and suddenly she was loved and cared for. And there was huge backlash across social media and news sources saying that this was a fat-shaming mess of a TV show and that it should have been canceled. It was offensive. It was giving false characteristics. But still, it was renewed for a second season, and then a third. So these movies and TV shows, we see the problem, but we're not taking action against it. And you'll notice that a lot of these fat-shaming characteristics in movies are actually in kids' TV shows, in kids' movies, where these children are the most susceptible. As young adults and adults, we're able to identify and acknowledge these issues, but children, they just think it's a funny fat guy just eating on TV. They don't notice that this is an issue. So they're getting these perceptions in their heads like, oh, it's okay to make fun of somebody for looking that way. oh, the reason they are not liked and they're just a side character is because they're overweight. So these trends are happening, but no action's being taken. So what needs to change? We can't keep on writing scripts from a fat perspective because most likely it's written by a skinny, average-looking person. You can't write from a fat experience if you're not fat. You can't. It's always going to come off somewhat sizist, and you're not going to know what it truly is like if you haven't experienced it. So what we also need to do beyond just having new writers and inclusion in these script writing processes is also we need to identify these stereotypes being projected and then take action. We shouldn't greenlight these TV shows if we notice that there's an issue. If we notice that you're gonna get backlash, you're gonna get hatred, you're gonna hurt people. So we need to stop these TV shows and these terrible characteristics from even becoming prevalent in the first place. And here are my works cited. They're very small because I made a collage. Thank you.